Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday the Sanyika Champions League labna. And I mean this is very entertaining pam because the Sanyo Pozole pam Champions League man. It has been a long time Catinho almost 30 plus goals in the Champions League weekday. And Sama carried one disappointments and sham all expectations ni sham on that Champions League matches ma. We really saw some certain teams proving to the world that they really deserve to be in that Champions League competition. And anyway to go, so ama Barcelona men Olympiacos Besanyala Bansang Munwar Pataba, and it was very exciting to watch, especially I said a Barcelona fan because Barcelona trash Olympiacos by 6 goals to 1. And to be very honest, but Barcelona I know a lot of people out there will say that it was because of the red card or maybe Binyana zone such as Barcelona Dibapama, but it doesn't matter. You understand? Because a team like Barcelona, you always expect them to bring out the best in them, especially if they are facing a stubborn Olympiacos side. And of course, they capitalized on it. And the player of the day was Fermin López. Of course, playing in every time on it in injury, it seems Barcelona of like attacking wise, Banyaraban like they are lacking something up front there, and somehow also you know what the reason why he is one player that Barcelona always needs to stay fit. And I can promise you that if Fermin Lopez when they stay fit for Barcelona, they will win a lot of trophies, and I mean they will compete a lot. And that's why Barcelona fans always they are very disappointed when they hear that guy I mean Fermin Lopez so nyala so maybe he will not make it to a particular game. But aside that, players who also turned up for Barcelona was Marcus Rashford. Captain Namisham also at Manchester United at some point. Drangmala Okaria, it was I mean in shambles. But going to Barcelona, it has really given him the opportunity to revive his chances as a football player. And I mean, if I was Barcelona, I would just sign him on I mean a full transfer to stay at the club because he's really giving out I mean the best performance in him. So Barcelona beat Olympiacos by 6 goals to 1. And another game that I mean it shocked a little people a little bit was that game between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid because Niropam Samila game it would have been a fairly contested game. Be Atletico Madrid be say nyala banti Arsenal's num Zorbil Bamba. It seems first half ma Congo Karsal last year, but Bensa kind of first half. Bensa kind of second half ma Arsenal scored about four goals, and I mean it granted them the victory over Atletico Madrid. And a lot of people are asking questions whether it is time for Diego Simeone to stay or it is time for him to leave. And I cannot sit sit down here and dictate for Atletico Madrid because I am not their owner. But if I was part of their managing directors or one of their directors in the club, at the end of the season, I would have terminated the contract of Diego Simeone because it is not going well. And if you check his track record, he has spent more than Barcelona and Real Madrid during his stay at the Atletico Madrid, but he has nothing to show for it, even though he has won some, I mean, a few trophies. But as a coach, you expect more from him. But kudos to Arsenal because in that game, they did something very special that Atletico Madrid were, I mean, looking to exploit Arsenal using transitions. But I said the game, it seems Arsenal is restricted from doing those transition moves, and it has really confirmed to us that some years ago, Alex Ferguson that United attackers win new games, but defense wins you titles, and this is what Mikel Arteta is trying to do with this Arsenal team. I've consistently said that like Arsenal team they are the most complete team in the whole world right now, and they are the best team in the whole world right now. So you have to give them their kudos, and I mean try to always praise them when it is due. And another game that was very exciting to watch, or maybe didn't I mean like give us the expectations, was PSG against Leverkusen in Germany, because if Niropam something like game woman, I mean Bayer Leverkusen them saying restricted PSG from scoring damn much goals, but got some from PSG some they came and they won by 7 goals to 2. And it is very surprising because normally in the Champions League group stages. Three Benyaro Posole, especially a team playing away from home. And PSG went there and exploited them. And you need to give credit to them. That's why they are the defending champions of the UEFA Champions League. And as champions, you really expect this kind of performance from them, even though there were a lot of scorers in there. But I think the man of the match was Nuno Mendes. Katamo Misham, he has been one of the exciting left backs to watch really nowadays. And I think if this PSG side continue this kind of performance, Manyala to retain it. But another game which was very surprising was Napoli versus PSG. So I personally thought Napoli could have won this game easily, but it seems PSV were Basako come now that we really need to take this win, and they won it by six goals to 2. And this is what we always expect from a Champions League game: the surprises and the goals. And this was what gave a this was what the teams gave us in last night's UCL games. But aside that, the final game was Villarreal versus Manchester City, and of course, Erling Haaland proven to the world why he is one of the best strikers in Europe right now by scoring in his 12 consecutive games. And it is so exciting to watch Erling Haaland now, and I believe if he is able to stay fit, Manchester City are going to give a run at the Premier League title, and of course the UCL. And you just need to give him his credit. Kachi Erling Haaland, what he has been doing these days is quite exceptional. A player of his caliber. Manchester City always expect goals from him, and this is what he has been giving them day in, day out. So as a Manchester City fan, or if you're a Manchester City fan out there, you should be praying that Erling Haaland stays fit for the whole of the season. Because if he doesn't, I think Manchester City will be lacking a whole lot. But so if I was Pep Guardiola right now, I would have been managing his game period. If he gets a goal and I think I am winner, I'll just take him off, because you'll be risking to have him injured before maybe December. And so that was the games which happened in the UCL. And my general observations in that match week was that the Mala players or the discipline level of the players right now is going wayward, because about 5 or 6 red cards happens in that game. And it is very not pleasant to watch in a UCL game, because you cannot afford to be getting as many as red cards in these kind of games. And people needs to start cautioning, especially coaches, the Simpson level players, educating them to avoid red cards, because aside affecting you the player, you the player, it affects the team also because it might prevent you from winning a game. So that's just the game on last night's UCL games. And this is what we always expect from a UCL night, because expect to number 30 goals as many as possible. And last night was very exciting. Probably we see this kind of performance in the UCL this evening again. My name is Mohammed Mubarak. This is Hype TV. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, put us on post notification, and of course follow us on all our social media handles to be part of the family. Assalamu alaikum.